Welcome, welcome to the Chest Out, Heart Open podcast. I see you, brother Crown. I want to welcome you. I want to welcome everyone to the Chest Out, Heart Open podcast. This is a weekly podcast, so focused on social determinants of health. You know, a lot of things that we go through in life lead to stressors that we can't really handle. And these are substance abuse, mental health struggles, broader community issues, relationship breakdowns, homelessness, things of that nature, and some of the things that it do to our body, our mind, spiritually, physically. So those are some of the things we're gonna talk about. This real talk, man. There's some things that we have discussions on, sitting in the living room. You know what I mean? Driving down on our way to work, on our way to a family member's house, just sitting around just talking. Man, there's things. Some things that we want to get off our chest that we need some answers to. We're going to try to provide some answers. We got our guests here, Brother Wise, this Brother Crown here. I wonder where they at. I wonder what they couldn't. I wonder if they have a hard time getting on. Because also have Brother Crown, also have Brother Sharif who's going to be joining us. Sharif Anel Bay out of New York. He's a master Sufi in the martial arts world. That was pretty deep. Uh, did you have a hard time getting on, Brother Crown? Did you hear me?
Oh, really? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you very good.
Oh, okay. No.
You ain't had no issues? Let me text and see what's going on. While we're going live, I know Brother Wise, you get anxious all day. That's what be happening when you be anxious. As soon as you get to the moment, you're like, everything seems to go all right. Let me see if it's the camera set. Yeah, check with the brother. While you're doing it, let me be talking to the audience and understand what's going on. Yeah, my name is Darrell Barnes, I'm your host. I have a co-host, Michael Johnson. Today, Father's Day, he had some other uh, things he had to attend to. Father's Day, but the show must go on. We're going to have Brother Wise and Brother Crown come on here. We're going to talk a little bit about some solutions to some of these health issues that some of us men be facing, and women, when we start to get up in age. And a lot of times, age ain't really, or when I say getting up in age, some of the things I'm talking about ain't really relegated or regulated by age. Shoot, it's 20 and 30 years old, just stiff and tight. You need to work out, need a massage, need some healing. A lot of times people focus on sexual healing only. We need some real healing, some mind healing, physical healing. These brothers, when we get it together, we're going to start talking about some of those things. But until then, my name is Darrell Barnes Bay. I just want y'all to know I'm going to qualify myself. I'm a peer recovery coach. I've been working in the community for the last 9 years. I was faced with some issues, some challenges in life, you know what I mean, some thinking issues. Followed some destructive paths, been in prison, Yeah, I've been in prison. I went to prison when I was 19 years old, stayed 7 years. I was introduced to the Moral Science of America. That's a religious organization. Not that sovereignty stuff, not that all that other stuff about taking people property. I'm talking to the real deal, teaching us about our nationality and our birthrights, meaning the things that make us better citizens, that make us better human beings, uh, uh, make us better human beings for society. And I have come to the mindset that it's some things that people have on their mind that they want to discuss. They don't have the opportunity to discuss them or the format of the platform to discuss them on. I've seen other hardcore podcasts talking about get it off your chest. Let's talk about some things. But we want to go deep, 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 take a deep nose dive. Talk about some raw, gritty stuff. But at the same time, remain spiritual, real world reflective. Problem solving. We're going to try to come up with solutions to some of these issues we had last week. I don't know if some of y'all heard me see when I was talking about some issues I have with I don't have no issues with LGBTQ people, but I don't have no issues with them at all. It's just that they got a lot of rights. They got a lot of rights. There's people out there like this. Did you talk to them about the
Yeah,
crime?
yeah. He's having some technical difficulties. Cell phone.
Yeah, some technical
His
difficulties.
cell phone and his StreamYard will allow him to get on the line. So
I can hear you. He said his cell phone.
his cell phone won't allow him to get on the line. So he's got to go get a laptop. And have a laptop. No, that's the problem.
Your volume is real low, brother Crown. I heard you say he was having some technical difficulties. I think I heard you mention something about his phone. And yeah, he may not be able. He may not be able to get on his phone because he's gonna have
Yeah, he's on the cell phone. And his cell phone,
yeah, you gotta have.
StreamYard won't allow him
Yeah,
to use his cell phone.
yeah. Cell phone ain't gonna allow him to come on.
Yeah.
Uh, because you gotta have a Wi-Fi connection. You gotta be, know, uh, Crown. I'm saying Crown. I'm saying Crown because I'm looking at your name. Sorry, brother.
Long.
He
Good to
said,
see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Grand Sheik.
With you. Brother Crown,
yes, sir.
what's your role in the that
On the
community?
side, I write most of the material. I study.
You say you describe?
Yes, sir. So I do most of the
Yeah.
writing. I write most of my job is mainly to grab the concepts and then put the concepts into an articulator. So,
So he come up with the
take it to
vision
the
and you
back.
come up with the hold on, this ain't calling now. What's going on, brother Warren? No, I thought we established that last time when we talked when some individuals was trying to get on their phone and I was like, we got to have computer Wi-Fi connection and phone connection. But your brother on here, we about to talk and okay.
An individual up in upstate New York.
Brother Crown, could you hear me? Brother Crown? Seems like you have and now back. Could you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Brother Crown, it seems like you have because you seems like you can't hear me. And your brother's trying to work on getting his computer together. But what I'm gonna do is right now I just want to like tell the audience what we're trying to establish here on this listening channel, this station. Uh, a lot of people have a lot of issues that they want to dialogue about. They have questions and concerns. that they talk about. It's like everyday chatter. It's like sitting at the bus stop, having a conversation with a stranger.
Mhm.
And a lot of times when you sit on the bus stop having a conversation with a stranger, you may have some of the realest conversation that you ever had in your life with those strangers, and you just realize, wow, I can't get this conversation on a regular basis. And that's the kind of conversation that we want to have, but not just offer just a conversation piece. We want to offer some solutions to some of the conversations that we had, because one thing I found out in this world is a lot of talkers and not enough doers.
That's right.
So we want to bring that talking to the table. We want to bring some doing to that talk. And we have scheduled a slide for the day. Even if they don't get their technical difficulties together, I want to put them out there. We have a brother Wise and a brother Crown that offer a very unique opportunity for everybody.
Nice.
And I say everybody. I mean everybody. The brother came to me and said, "Hey, man, I have some unique skills, and I want." And when he said it, he said, I liken my skills to those that Jesus had. And when he said that, I looked at him, and that got my attention. And he said, Jesus traveled the world, and as he was traveling the world, he picked up certain techniques that he utilized in his travel. And he said, and one of them I want to utilize on my community. And I said, well, what is the community that you focus on? He said, well, I know that there are a lot of people that's going through what is called this opioid epidemic. He said, people going through this opioid epidemic, so I want to offer another pathway to recovery. He said, but not only to the recovery world, he said, I want to offer to the elderly community. He said, I want to offer to the religious community. He said, I want to offer to the conscious community. He said, I want to offer to anyone that is going through any ailments or suffering in life. I want to help improve their life. I said, well, you speaking my language. I said, how much you charge? He said, absolutely nothing. I said, wow. So, I'm from the hood.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nothing free.
Nothing free.
I said, ain't nothing free. So come on the show. Let's talk about it. And I'll be honest, I'm going to tell y'all, this is an up-and-coming podcast. We're trying to get things together. I have a little background history. We're trying with another podcast, trying to get some things together. But we've been having some technical difficulties, as you can see now. But we're going to get it together.
Yes, sir.
But we had talked a whole hour, maybe 2 weeks ago. And we didn't record nothing. But in that conversation, in that hour conversation, I got a better understanding of the services that he was offering. And I'm just like amazed.
Wow.
Now, Brother Sharif.
Yes, sir.
How many chakras that you know of? And where are they located?
That's a great question, brother. First, before I even get into that topic, I just want to salute those brothers for providing an uplifting service, man. We, especially in these days and times, we need it, And on the flip side, as we know, as I know, uplifting also means to remove excuses. So when you said how much it costs, and they said absolutely nothing, we ain't charging, that's removing excuses.
Ain't no excuse.
You know what I'm saying? So now with the chakra system, so follow me. You have let's take comparing an automobile to a motorcycle. Automobile has 4 wheels, motorcycle has 2, right? My point being this: both of them are vehicles of transportation to get you from point A to point B, but they're 2 different systems. So the chakra system, as we know, comes from a particular system, the Hindu-Indian system. So, like in
Mm.
China, different schools have different energy centers. But in the Hindu system, 7, right?
Okay.
Those seven,
Okay.
those 7 energy systems. That's right, or those 7 energy energy systems. But I just wanted to add this too, and this is the what we would call the triune of presence. Anytime there's energy, there's information. And anytime there's information, there's the presence of an intelligence. So if there's energy, there's information, there's consciousness, all 3 together.
I can't wait till Brother Wise get on here, because when he was talking before, he used that same language, but he used different terminology. And I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. He was talking about like the triumph, so to speak. He introduced Hermes Trismegistus, you know. And I was talking about Professor Hilton.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you a lot of Professor Hilton. I did a lot of studies of Professor Hilton in my early years, and one of the books that stood out to me was The Magic Wand, Caduceus. And I was talking about that staff that's on every emergency medical system, EMS system, they transport cars, hospital. That system has a high divine meaning to it.
Come on, brother. That's right.
You get to talk about it. See, a lot of people always talk about, and it's funny to me. This is one of the things that I want to get off my chest. It really trips me out when people call themselves a part of the conscious community, right?
Yes.
And they want to try to flex their consciousness. And everybody that want to flex their consciousness love to talk about the child. They love to talk about spiritual energy and things of that nature, but they don't really know what that spiritual energy does and how to activate it. But what they don't talk about is the eye in the pink gap. The serpent.
Come on now.
They don't talk about the serpent.
Right.
That cross. And where the serpent's cross is where the energy field or source is, that's called the chakras.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So they don't talk about that. They talk about that. They talk about the third eye, the snake, why the Egyptians use that symbolism, things of that nature. All this have a high spiritual meaning, but it goes off into showing you about you.
Yes.
But when they talk about it as if they are talking about something outside of themselves.
Come on now.
Only thing that is talking about you. So when you see that staff, you see that staff, that's you. The wing globe is nothing but your mind, your brain and your mind and how it operates and how it thinks. And we was talking last week, and we was talking about how our energy is distorted or muddied up or murky.
Yes.
And that's what got me with Brother Wise, because he said, I can unmurky your energy just by my hands or my feet.
Come on now.
Because he said it's chakras in your hands and your feet.
Yo, can I jump in there real quick?
Yeah.
It's crazy you say that, because again, so like anybody that's in construction or especially an electrician understands what I'm about to say. You can take a house and you can always rewire it to give it greater or lesser capacity. Well, the human body is the same thing. This is just flesh, right? And as you know, we have a saying: "Isn't the master more honorable than its walls?"
That's right.
Right? The master of the house. So we can always rewire or discover new wiring or use a different system of wiring. So, like you mentioned, yes, there's in one particular system, there's 7 centers. And those 7 centers are created by a nexus, a meeting of 2 opposites, right? And like, so I want to touch back on that, but I'll get back to that. But then There's other systems that have other centers. And even the Hindu system that uses 7 chakras acknowledges extra centers. You see, it acknowledges these centers. Like, for instance, in many of the Chinese bioenergetic systems, they talk about what they call the 3 treasures. The 3 treasures. This one here, in the third eye position, here at the solar plexus position, and then below the navel. They call these 3 treasures. One, and you this relates to, in our religious studies, chapter 1. It literally does. They call this center
chapter 1 of what?
Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America.
Okay.
This center in Chinese medicine is called, houses the energy we call Shen, or spirit. This center in the solar plexus houses the energy we call Qi, or energy, where emotions are processed. Okay? And then the one below the navel is the energy center most closely related to physicality. And that's Chinese medicine. But it also, and so it talks about those 3 energy centers, but then it acknowledges centers at the soles of the feet and in the palms of the hands as well. So, you know, the point being, now my instructor from China says this is deep. He says, yeah, you have different energy systems. Those are points of reference to begin your study. He says, but for the skilled individual, the whole body is one energy center. For the skilled individual. Yes, sir.
That's deep. That's deep, because when you compare that to electricity, and then when you just said the whole body is energy, that's deep. Because it reminds me of, and I hate to use this as a cliche, The Last Dragon, when he energized. Yeah.
Come on, brother.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
See, our mind connect back when we start hearing certain information, and like I said, the information that you just gave me more clarity on some information that I had downloaded in my reference box in my cycle maybe 30 years ago.
Wow. See that?
And now you're talking about it, and when the brother talked about it, it brought up the Professor Hill routine. It brought up that information that it brought up, and it brought up something I learned many moons ago. You know how people pray over their food? They pray in different ways. They pray this way, they pray this way, they pray that way.
Yes.
I take my hand and I slowly rub across my food.
Come on
and
now.
I have told myself that my energy from my hand is purified. Whatever it comes in contact with. That's that divine, that's that healing energy.
Brother, what you just, I want to share this too with the audience. In the Chinese culture, they say it this way. They say some teaching you can learn from mortal men. Other teaching you are taught by the immortals. That's not spooky. What he means by that, what the Chinese mean by that is that through your practice and thought, ritual and routine, the feedback loop completes itself, and now the routine begins to teach you through what? Inspiration, intuition, flashes of those eureka moments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so what you just, brother, there's a Chinese researcher by the name of Paul Dong. He wrote a book called China's Super Psychics. And he researches and documents things like this. So there was a video of these Chinese youth reading. And let me show you what they're doing. There's one young man, young boy. He turns a page and he does this, rubs his hand on the page and then rubs his face, and then turns the page, rubs his hands on the book, rubs his face. And this is what he was doing. And they were like, well, explain what you're doing. You know what the boy said? I'm absorbing the knowledge. I'm absorbing the knowledge through his hands, brother.
Through his hands.
Through his hands.
Reminds me of something else.
I promise you it does.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's deep. You know, and this for the listening audience, this gives you takes away the spookism from a lot of things that you read, specifically when it comes down to religion and biblical stuff.
Yes.
Because again, years ago, I was fortunate enough to be in the presence of individuals who blessed me with some reading materials
Yes.
that opened my eyes and made me start looking at life from a more practical point of view. And I got a better understanding of who my brother was. When I say I'm talking about my brother Jesus, who he
Come on
was,
now.
and the reason why he's considered one of the greatest human beings that ever walked planet Earth is because he absorbed the knowledge from the people that he needed to absorb the knowledge from. He didn't sit still. He went to India, Africa, and Europe. He was learning as well as teaching. And people talked about how he healed with his hands. And when you just mentioned about how the Chinese instructor gave you the information of and made you aware of how our whole bodies can be energized, gave me an understanding of how someone can touch the hem of his robe.
Come on now. Come on now. Yo, let me, your brother.
Yeah.
Let me share. I'll share this with you and with the audience. When my instructor was talking about this, he gave us a practical demonstration. He said, again, going back to the whole thing of energy carries information. We all know this, how you can walk into a room. We've all experienced it, especially in the street. You walk on a particular block and you feel the vibration. Like, yeah, let me get off this block before it starts to. You already, you know what I'm saying? And so we all know, instinctively understand that energy carries information. Right? Now, you have to ask yourself in those situations, how did you receive the information? You get that feeling that the hair on the back of your neck stands up, or we all know, we all know. So it's that type of thing. So this is what he said. This is what he did for us, brother. He told us all, do this. Sit with your palms up, with your hands on your thighs, with your palms up. So we did. And he's talking, and he's like, remember what we just demonstrated about vibration. Vibration, energy carries information. He goes, in our culture, this is what he said. In Chinese culture, you know, how the student always bows to the master and carries his books and does all this other stuff. And in the West, we take that as you brown nose it.
Right.
He said, but what it really is, you're opening up your total being to absorb information. He calls it complete learning. So he says, even now, when we were sitting there with our hands like this, he said, even now as I'm talking, if you're paying attention, you can feel the vibration of my voice on the palms of your hands. I said, woo. He said, you are, even if it's not intellectual, you're receiving the knowledge in your flesh.
That's deep.
That's crazy.
You know, so deep. That's crazy because it gives more light to some of the things that you and I are charged with doing.
There you go.
Because the more so what I got from that is the more you serve, not the more you read, and the more you serve, the more
there you go.
You absorb.
There you go.
The more knowledge you absorb.
Exactly.
And I am going to do this. I am going to say this. That gives me a better understanding again of why I have been receiving so much clarity in my life. Ever since I took on the charge to start doing the service work that I do, and in the fashion that I do it in, I received so much clarity and energy, and I can do so much stuff, and people get mad at me.
Yes.
People get mad at me because they can't keep up, and I'm making them look bad.
Yes.
And I'm saying, but it ain't my intention to make you look bad. But I had this spurt of clarity out of nowhere.
Come on, brother. Out of nowhere, right?
out of nowhere. But it's like the more I do for others, the more I get. I'm talking about financially, everything.
Right.
I can be sitting there with my last dollar in my pocket, and people be talking about, and I be hearing people all worried, oh, I got no money. I be sitting there like, I ain't worried. Next thing I know, a check coming in the mail that I thought I wasn't going to get. The universe gonna take, and I say the universe because I know who the father of the universe is.
Come on, brother. That's right.
The universe take care of its services. Give you the
Yes,
information that you need, give you the guidance that you need.
Yes, sir.
It's like you here right now.
Yes, sir.
You here for a reason. Brother Wiseman was supposed to be on here. He's supposed to be talking the information that you talking. And you supposed to be a listener, a guest.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Kind of like chipping in a little bit, but it's been meant for this to happen. He gonna come in and he gonna find out what we've been talking about. He gonna feel this divine energy. He gonna share with us.
Absolutely.
Brother Barnes back.
Some more stuff. Yeah, I hear you, Brother Crown.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his brother Crown. That's the scribe.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was having some
Pleasure,
And you know, I
brother.
was thinking scribe
Okay.
when you was listening. I was thinking, I said, you're gonna have a whole lot to scribe about on this one.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Y'all getting it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even like everything y'all brothers were saying definitely is on point. And even there's a science called quantum physics. And even on the level of quantum physics, everything that you brothers have been speaking on is 100% congruent with the essence of the rudiments of all things in existence. Because at the rudimentary level, everything exists. Well, everything exists as waveforms.
That's right.
Everything existing as waveforms. We're talking about this, we're getting really deep.
Yes, sir.
Because it exists in certain patterns. The different waveforms that exist in different patterns. Depending on the pattern of the wave, depends upon how it collapses. And when it collapses into a rudimentary form of matter. So all it is, maybe to be more illustrative or more symbolic, it's like a yin and a yang. But the energy, the key, this is something that I've discovered. Sort of like what Brother Sharif was saying.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The universe communicates by way of tension.
Come on, brother.
Not intention, but tension itself.
Yes.
Meaning the science of the positive and the negative, right at the crux, the crucible. It's the crux. Right in there is what I call the fire line. And right in that fire line, that's where truth manifests. Because you have the positive and you have the negative, and you have them rubbing against each other. You have them arguing. You have them communicating. Like you said, everything is communication. All forms of energy and all forms of matter are communication, but can you draw it up? Can you do the knowledge? Can you see what it is?
Come on
and can
now.
you tell what it is and how it's relative to you and what the purpose is for it? Because your purpose for it may be different than my purpose.
That's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying? But we have to take the best part of the data and we have to actualize it into what is best for ourselves, right? And ultimately, when you break it down, it's only wave and collapse. And since it's only wave and collapse, when you collapse it, you have to collapse it in a way that is meaningful.
Dear brother, listen, I've done a whole presentation on what you're talking about. That just got me so excited, brother, to hear somebody else speak the same language.
That's what you were doing. That's what I'm over here. I couldn't say nothing.
Listen, brother, what you just said. There's three quantum physicists, award-winning, that I study fairly intently. One, his name is David Boehm. The other's name is Rupert Sheldrake. And the third is this Chinese sister by the name of Mei Wan Ho.
They're going down through there.
And these three, okay, so
yeah, no problem.
What you just said was so crazy, right? But it's right in line with my studies, my own studies. about, for instance, the difference between wave and particle. Wave function is probability, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the collapse of wave function in the particle form, which is an event, right?
That's right.
But the key thing that causes wave function to collapse is what these quantum physicists call, and Brother Barnes Bay, you're going to really like this. The key thing that causes the collapse from waveform to an event is what these quantum physicists call it the quantum operator. You know what they call the quantum operator? Human will.
There you go.
Human will determines it.
There it is. There it is.
Will. That's what
there
does
it
it.
Is.
Ain't that crazy?
Listen.
Yeah,
is it not written in your own law that I have said that ye are all gods?
That's fact, brother. That's right.
The entanglement of the observer determines the outcome of the particle.
Of the event. That's a fact.
Of the event. That's right. Now, if you come in there with a heavy mind, you're going to make some heavy metal. You come in there with a lofty mind, you're going to come out with spirit. You're going to come, not spirit, you're going to come out with refined particles.
That's it.
That's right.
Brother Wise just joined. Brother Wise just joined. Brother Wise, we on here. They going deep.
That brother looks familiar.
Brother Crown, Brother Wise. I was explaining to them about your healing techniques, and it opened up a whole conversation. We was talking about the chakras. Before we go any further, I want you to introduce yourself, please. Not only to the audience, but introduce yourself to our other guest, Brother Sharif, and then back. He can introduce himself to you. We just have some real conversation. And then after you do that, I want to ask a couple questions.
Beautiful. All right. My name is Nate, AKA Wise, and I'm a world peace Corona Reiki master. I'm a licensed massage therapist, a clinical massage therapist.
Yes, sir.
I'm also a fitness coach, and I'm a nutritionist too as well. So I wear many hats when it comes to healing humanity.
Beautiful. So you're a Reiki, not Reiki master. That's beautiful work, brother.
Yes, thanks. Yeah, I love it, man.
Yes, sir.
It's a really beautiful healing modality, man. I really enjoy doing it, man, because a lot of people, they have a lot of past trauma from their childhood and from their past lives and in between lives that they bring in into this life. So what Reiki does, it helps heal people from a cellular level, because we know that all your issues are in your tissues, so anything that you go through, you literally wear it like clothes.
Brother, you spoke that like a true licensed massage therapist. He said your issues is in your tissues. That's right. That's right.
So I was telling them the conversation we had when we first met, and how you said that you wanted to offer your services and you wanted to heal the world. And when you was describing what you offer, you likened it to the same healing that Jesus offered. Using his hands, different certain techniques. And my question to you is, we're talking, and we have already established between ourselves prior to you getting on that all of us on this platform are pretty familiar with chakras and certain Hindu philosophies and things of that nature. But the people that's listening, because when I first heard Reiki, I ain't gonna lie, I had to go look it up. I wanted to know what Reiki means. So what is saying Reiki, and how could Reiki be beneficial to just ordinary people?
Oh, that's a great question, bro. That's a really great question. Well, yeah, I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay, you got Ray and you got Key. Now the Ray is three parts to the Ray, and that's REI. Okay, the first part to the Ray is the source. The source is where all the healing comes from. They also, the creator of all, the all in all, or whatnot, and that's the first part of Ray. And then you have the second part. You have the healer, which is myself, and then you got the earth layers. So you got the source, you got me, the healer, and then you got the earth layers. So I'm in between the earth layers and the source. So my duty is to pull unconditional love from the source. That's what I heal with, unconditional love and the grace of forgiveness from the source. See, I'm not the source of power. It doesn't come from me. It just comes through me. Okay. And it's that infinite energy that animates everything. So, and also you got the key. Now, this is the key part. The key part is represented as the chi. It's also chi. Ki is Japanese for the life force energy. Okay. Chi is Chinese version of it. Then you have prana, which is the Indian Sanskrit language. And then you have T and Ki, which is Hawaiian. So that's that infinite energy that animates everything living that you can't see, but you can feel, you can see. It animates everything living. And it's an infinite amount of energy that we can pull from and we can heal from and heal humanity. So it's, Reiki it's a very good healing modality because you deal with the chakras, the 7 chakras. Now, you actually have more than 7. Even you got 7 main chakras. You got chakras in your hand, and you got chakras in the crown chakra. Now, the crown chakra, that's purple, violet, and that crown chakra, what that deals with your intelligence and your awareness. Okay, so your intelligence and your awareness is where your crown chakra is, and that's violet. Then you have your third eye chakra, which is right here, which is in the center of your head, but it's really kind of back in the back of your head because where your pineal gland is kind of a little more deeper in the brain. But your third eye chakra, that's indigo. Okay, and what that does, that deals with your intuition. It deals with your intuition and your actual to see things, to imagination, your imagination to imagine things too as well. And then you have your throat chakra, which is your blue. Is the color of that is blue. But your throat chakra, what that deals with communication, and everything communicates. Everything communicates, whether it's body language and also verbal communication.
That's right.
Then you have your heart chakra, which is your green chakra. It's green. Now your heart chakra is probably your most important chakra in the body because that's the chakra in which your aura comes from. That's why when people feel that certain a certain thing about somebody, they're actually detecting their heart chakra, but their heart chakra is emanating their aura, and that heart chakra deals with unconditional love. Because unconditional love is the most powerful frequency in the universe. That's the frequency in which we use to heal. Okay. Then we also have the solar plex chakra. Okay. Now that's yellow. That deals with your confidence. Your ability to know who you are. Your confidence and things of that nature. And then you have the sacral chakra, which is orange, which deals with your sexuality and creativity and things of that nature too as well. And then you have your root chakra. Your root chakra is red, which grounds you. That's the chakra that keeps you grounded, to the earth. So these major chakras, they spin on their axis. They spin on their axis, and when one starts to slow up, one has to pick up for the other one, and that's how people go through the aging process. Now, what Reiki does is that the the trauma that you went through, because your soul, you have your soul and your spirit. Your soul is a repository of all your past lives and all your in between lives, right? So what Reiki does, it's these ancient. They have 13 healing symbols. These Reiki, it goes back and it heals you in your past life, and it also heals. You can heal future too as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
You can send Reiki to future events to heal. You can send Reiki across the world. Like I give you an example. This here, I'll show you. This is my Reiki grid. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see this, but the Reiki grid, what it is that it's I have right here. I'll explain it better. I have 12 crystals around here
Mm-hmm.
on the Reiki grid. Now the 12 crystals, what that does is that
Hold on,
represents
before you go any
Judaism
further.
and
Hold
so
on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second, brother. Before you go any further, because you gave a wealth of information.
in the
You
middle,
gave,
this represents
brother, why?
as over the differences of religions. What we have did found commonality in the religions, and the commonality in each religion and every Messiah in every religion teaches this is that the grace of forgiveness and the power of unconditional love. So we have found the commonality in our religions, as opposed to going to war and fighting over the differences in the religion.
Hold
Mm-hmm.
on, brother
So
Wise. Hold on,
we come
brother
together
Wise.
as one.
Brother Wise. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Brother Wise.
Yes.
Could you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you a little bit. It's going in
your
and out.
screen is kind of like freezing in and out. I wanted to stop you for a second because you was giving out a wealth of information. And, again, amongst us, we may have a little knowledge of what you're talking about, but our viewing audience may not. So we want you to, so they can understand, because the whole purpose of us doing this is try to get us some information so they can help them. So when you was talking about you mentioned the chakras and you giving us the location of the chakras, the crown chakra, so forth and so on, the pineal gland, the root chakras. How is that uh, applicable to me as a person in my everyday life? I'm listening. I done tuned in to hear us talk, and my back hurt. I got pain radiating down my right arm from some cervical nerve damage. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
People telling me I need to go to stretch. I'm getting old, but I'm stretching and I'm going to the gym, and my back hurting and it's interfering with my daily activities in life. Uh, how does any of this stuff that you're talking about? How could that help? How could that help? You
Well,
know
it's a
what I
great
mean?
question. It's a great question because with not just Reiki, but with massage too as well, that definitely helps. So what I do is that how it helps is that when you perform massage, you get the toxins out of your body, okay? And when you perform Reiki, you get the negative energy that's out of your body, the negative energy that you've had from negative situations that you've went through. And what happened is that when you're affected on the cellular level from negativity, what massage does is that, and Reiki, it releases that negativity out of your body. So it helps you be more mobile, right? It helps you be more active. It helps you live a better quality of life um, with the massage and the Reiki, because and if you know we have we have an epidemic. We have a opioid crisis. We have an epidemic, a
Right.
crisis, and what's happened is that what a lot of doctors and what they're trying to do, they're trying to kind of go to a more holistic, healing way of healing now, as opposed to prescribing opioids, because when people get on them opioids, 80% of the people they get hooked and they move to different from to heroin and things of that nature. So um it's a modality that's designed to not only help you from an external standpoint, far as from pain, but an internal too as well. Because, like I said, you're removing that past trauma, things that you've had, in your past when you were a childhood that you thought that may be gone, that's really still in your tissues. Because all your issues are definitely in your tissues, brother. Yeah.
Sharif, you had any experience with any of this type of healing?
I'm first of all, I give honors to the brother, man. I'm loving the fact that there's others on this path that are doing this kind of, not just information speaking, but practical work. I love it, and it's just really refreshing, and it's very uplifting and enlightening to hear. My perspective or what I do comes from a different perspective. I'm a medical martial and medical qigong practitioner, and we actually we just like the brother. It's not just it's practical. My instructor and one of my training brothers runs a full-time clinic. He has my older training brother in Clifton, New Jersey, for instance, has 2 hospitals that's regularly sending patients. He has 2 dozen, over 2 dozen full remissions, cancer remissions from his treatments alone. But then now there's the other side to that I want to touch on, Brother Barnes Bay, a negative side that I want to touch on, because I want to be 100% real with you all. But he has 2 dozen, over 2 dozen confirmed full cancer remissions from his qigong treatments. So, but I concur and agree with everything the brother has said about his Reiki practice and the knowledge that he passed, which is deep. Our perspective is a little different because it's a different system, right? So, like our perspective, like what you mentioned about, okay, you got some pain in your lower back and you got some pain, right? We look at it from the perspective, and I'm sure our brother will agree, we look at it from the perspective of this. In the old days in China, your doctor would be pissed off at you if the only time you came to him was when you were sick. Why? Because all pain, disease in the physical body is a result, it's an effect of a cause. And the cause is always either spiritual from thought or energetic via emotions and feelings, right? And so if we can detect the energetic imbalance, we can correct it before there are physical symptoms.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So now let's go back to the whole cancer issue. If that's the case, then real disease happens at the higher level, at the energetic and spiritual level, and then manifests, right? It comes down to the rate of atmosphere, as we would say in another school of thought, right? So that means anything physical is really an effect. It's a symptom. So even cancer, from the bioenergetic perspective, is a symptom. So what my training brother and my instructor would do when they would treat cancer patients, they'd say, look, the diagnosis is always energetic and emotional. So they'll begin with conversations, almost like a consultation and a counseling, to determine what the emotional knot is that empowers the tumor. See that? And it's always based in our system on the 4 elements: fire, earth, water, air. And that these aren't physical elements. They're sub-phases of energy going from extreme positive to extreme negative. So fire is energy going up, carries the temperament of hot and dry. Water's energy going down, sinking, carries the temperament of cool and wet. Earth is energy condensing, carries the temperament of dry and cool. Dry and cool. Air is energy expanding, and it carries the temperament of warm or hot or warm and wet. So, so that literally we use that as the basis of diagnosis. Now, when we can address the source, we can now energetically destroy the energetic matrix that causes the tumor to manifest physically. And literally what happens is that the tumors shrink to where there's no more tumor. And then they go back to their Western doctor, and the doctor says, we misdiagnosed you, even though they got the chart showing the tumor. You see what I'm saying? But then we tell the patient, this is not enough. You have to change your thinking.
That's
you
it.
Have to change, right? Am I right, dear brother? You got to change that. And 95%
as a
of
man
the time,
thinking, that's right. It's your thinking.
Yes, and 95% of the time they're either unwilling or unable to. And guess what happens? Cancer comes back.
That's right. That's right. That's true. Because even if you read that book, As a Man Thinketh, they said if you think that you have the disease, you have the disease. So even with Reiki, we actually teach them how to rethink. Like, I'll give you an example. I have a cancer patient that I'm working with right now that I see every Sunday that her cancer cells in her brain are shrinking. And when I do Reiki on her, in fact, I recorded her because she was just talking about how happy she was. But like I said, the cancer cells in her brain are shrinking. And I also tell her that I want you to think that this is working, that this is shrinking. You have to think it in your mind that the work that we're doing together, right, is going to benefit you. And she said, when I do Reiki, it feels like something pulling out her brain. Like she feels energy pulling out of her brain. Yeah.
Powerful.
So,
Powerful.
So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Hey, wait till you
and my life is dedicated to that, man. I feel that's why I came here.
That's beautiful.
To this planet to help humanity, man. I saw what was going on before I got here, and I knew that they needed people like us.
Yes, sir.
To heal humanity, man. It's very, very important. Which is why I specialize, in many modalities. And as long as I'm here on the planet, I know that I will never meet the goal because the truth is forever growing, regardless to how much information I know. So I just want to stay humble with it and heal as many souls as I can, man, while I'm here.
For me, to that point, dear brother Wise, I feel that too myself, but I also feel a flip side. When I was here before, I probably did some wild stuff, bro. This is penance work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You gotta take my word. Y'all sounding real serious when y'all speak because of the information. But I was gonna say, man, I'm like, I need some real work, man. I must have been terrible in my past life.
What?
I must have been terrible. And the reason why I say it is because it's manifesting itself in my physical form right now. It's causing me all this pain, and I need y'all to pull it up out. Tell you a joke, real. I had introduced the brother to Channing. The 9-year-old Renge Channing.
Yes,
and
Channing.
It brings your karma to you, so you can get through your karma. So I introduced the brother to Channing, right? Him and his wife. His wife called me up and cussed me out. She was like, if you had him chatting, we didn't went through this. I said, hey, that's y'all own karma. They stopped chatting. Every time I see them, I bring that up and we laugh. And I'm like, you ready to deal with your karma yet? I said, because you might as well have got it over with years ago, then you'd be straight right now. And you still got to deal with it. But that was kind of funny, though, because that made me realize that it's some things that we can do that can cause some outside stuff to take place. And I was thinking about what you was funny about the Reki, about you just being a mediator, really.
Yes.
You just a mediator for the energy. And I was thinking when you said, I was thinking that you said that a vessel that's prepared to be a mediator.
Come on now.
From the spirit, you know what I mean? To be a mediator, that's what you do. What you do? What you drink and eat every day?
Come on now. That's right.
What you drinking
That's
every
right.
day? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because people think like you say I'm a divine energy, spiritual energy gonna come through me, and I'm gonna use that energy to heal you. I want to know how could I be permanently? Because listen, once you put your hands on me, I know that's temporary, and the reason why I say that's temporary because I still have my source of energy, which is my thoughts that I'm going to carry away with me that I still can utilize to cause more, distress. So I want to know what you do. You follow what I'm saying?
What I do?
You told me you're the nutritionist.
Oh yeah. What I do is that I definitely practice what I preach. And what I'm saying is that I make sure that I eat right. I make
What
sure
you eat?
that I eat. You say, pardon me?
Kind of like what you eat, like your diet,
Oh,
like meat.
I eat like chicken breasts, vegetables. If I do a little carbs, it'll be rice. I don't eat, and I only eat. Sometimes I will only eat like maybe once a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if I do, eat more, maybe twice, and then I drink, protein shakes, stuff like that. But I also do a lot of self-care too as well. So like I do Reiki on myself, I do massages and stuff on myself too as well, just to show and prove to myself that I know this works. So I do it on myself. So self-care is very important, especially when you want to heal other people, because you can't really heal other people if you're not really healed yourself. So I had to go, through a lot, especially in going through my placements and my initiations and Reiki, because you got Reiki 1, you got 2, then you got the master level, and then you got the Corona master level, which is the level that I'm at, which is a highest practitioner that you could be, for a Reiki practitioner when it comes to that. So I wanted to make sure that I learned, as much as I could, in order to, manifest my purpose here on the planet.
Yes.
And my purpose actually is more important than my own life.
Brother Barnes, that's deep. Brother Barnes, you sparked something when you asked the brother that question about, especially, and this is the thought for us, like for instance in our tradition, and I think this is in line in many ways with what the brother Wise is saying about being a conduit. Follow me. We don't, in our tradition, we don't give another person our energy. We don't do that. Right? What we do is we encourage here. Let's use human bioenergy. Let's use the analogy of I got children, you got children. We live next door to each other. I got children, you got children. My children don't really like coming outside to play. They're stuck in the house. Right? Your children are knocking on my door. They're like, can your son and daughter come out to play with us? And you encourage me to allow them to do that. This is what we're doing with our energy. See, our energy, as the brother said, you can't give something you first don't have an abundance yourself. So we first build ourselves up selfishly to where we have radiant health, robust health. And then we use our energy to encourage the patient's energy to do the same.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I definitely agree with that. And we also give my clients like a plan, like self-care plans for themselves, the things that they can do when I'm not around, which is very important.
Yes.
Because anytime anytime that you have any condition that lasts 6 months or longer is considered a chronic condition.
Chronic.
So
yes,
everybody, mostly everybody got some type of chronic condition.
Absolutely.
So basically, of course, we encourage them to keep, getting, sessions or whatnot, but we tell them to do things like, okay, you want to make sure that you drink a lot of water, especially after a massage.
Yes.
Yes. You want to make sure that you stretch.
Absolutely.
Too as well. And like I say, nutrition, very important, that you eat right, because as my brother Crown had told me, like your gut is like almost like your second brain. Like
Absolutely.
if you have issues in your gut, you're going to have issues throughout the body and everything. That's why even in as a fitness coach, they tell you to get the abdomen strong because everything is connected
Core
to the
strength.
core.
That's
So
right.
you need to get that core strength. So
Yes.
so I give all my clients these self-care techniques that they could use when I'm not around to help these to help the benefits from the treatments. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's definitely very important because we don't want them to fall back into the mindset, oh, this works, but then it kind of don't work, and then they kind of fall back into the mind state, and then they start going back to doing their old habits by eating right, not getting the proper rest, not drinking enough water, things of that nature. Because I'm also a Brazilian body contour specialist too. So what I do when I do contouring, lymphatic contouring massages, I have to give them strict things. Okay, it's like having surgery. You can go have surgery, but if you go back to eating the way you ate, you're going to get back out of shape again, and all you're going to have to show for it is scars. That's it.
Correct.
That's all you're going to have to show for it. So we want our clients to maintain. That's why me and my brother, we're going to have like these workbooks too. These workbooks that we show people like step by step how to do things and how to maintain, how to maintain your results too after getting Reiki and after getting massage.
That's deep.
Well. Yeah.
That's deep.
We do this. What I don't like, real quick, Sharif, what I don't like is when I hear all this wonderful information and I don't know how to contact the people.
Okay. Well, I can be contacted at healinghandswellnessspa.com. And that's healinghandswellnessspa.com. That's my website.
All right.
Also, my phone number is 248-636-6386. And that's 248-636-6386 as well.
Beautiful.
Go ahead.
Also, what I was going to say really quick, and I'll give my contact info. Very comparable to what our brother Wise just said. We give, when it comes to our method is a little different than the Reiki method, but we know it and we're tasked to know it from like a mechanic's perspective. So as opposed to being able to buying a vehicle, we make the vehicle. Yeah. We know how to make the vehicle. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we know human bioenergetics to the perspective to where we can custom tailor bioenergetic treatments and give homework literally like a bioenergetic prescription, like a doctor prescribes medicine.
Yeah. And that's beautiful you said that, because in the Gospel of the Holy 12, when in the missing years of Jesus from the age of 12 to 32, it speaks about Qigong healing and Reiki healing was the things that he actually studied when he went to India as well.
That's right.
And of course, he studied the Assyrian initiation and the Egyptian mystery schools. That's why in the Bible they said, "I call my son out of Egypt." But Qigong healing is my next healing modality that I plan to take.
Beautiful.
We
offer, dear brother, we offer a very and a certified intensive course, 5-hour classes with written and a practical test, right?
Oh,
I give an example about one of the parts of the practical test. We get 2 cups of wine, pour wine in both cups, a taster to make sure it's the same wine.
Right.
The person testing has 60 seconds to project their energy into one of the cups to literally change the pH content. And it's pass or fail. You taste to see. So it's not just, hey, we can make people feel energy. Our thing is we can change human physiology with the energy. Very practical. Yes, sir.
That actually reminded me of the Zonar. That reminded me of the Zonar symbol in the Corona Master, the first symbol in the Corona Master class, because the Zonar symbol it's actually down from a cellular level. It actually goes to into the cells, and it repairs the damaged cells in the body. Yeah, Zonar. That's exactly what they remind me of. Yeah.
Yes,
And
sir.
also the halo, which is the symbol that gives you the ability to do shadow work, to go back. Everyone has to do shadow work.
For sure.
Yeah. So
For
do
sure.
shadow work. So
For sure.
the whole point of this is that we're trying to usher humanity into a golden age, because we're moving into that age now. And the golden age, the water bearing man, the Aquarius, the man with the wisdom,
That's right, brother.
and the ability to heal. So, the golden age we're actually in it now. So this is why, we're getting together the way we're getting, because, this is a think tank, and we're coming together and we're figuring out how we can help build and heal humanity, which is a beautiful thing. You have think tanks that sit around and think about how they can kill humanity
Come on
and
now.
the
That's right.
diseases and things of that nature. So we're just the opposite. This is like the Justice League, as I always say.
We know how we say it in another school of thought. These are all parts of the great program to uplift fallen humanity.
That's it. That's it.
That's what it is. All parts.
Come on now.
Program.
Come on now.
That's it. That's it.
And look, I feel, and I'm not joking when I say this. I feel healed a little bit just from being
just talking.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel it. And guess what? I feel it. I feel it in my center of my being.
Exactly.
All over here. And it's a warm feeling.
Yes,
you know
sir.
What I mean? Those chakras do spin and they do increase.
Yeah.
In vibration. And,
yeah.
A lot of times, a lot of people don't understand Jesus did actually do a lot of those things that they.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
It seems humanly impossible when you only think of yourself as a human and not a divine being.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
All we're talking about, you can't have the divine energy only be in a divine being. So that's what we're talking about.
It's like what Yoda. It's like. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You can go ahead.
It's like what I was just walking with you on that. It's like it's like in the Star Wars series where Yoda tells Luke, he says, "Luminous beings are we, not just crude flesh." And those of us that think we're just crude flesh, we accepted the wrong teaching.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that too. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. See, and I'm glad you brought that up, man, because what we striving to do is get the power back to the people.
Come on now.
And how we do that, we have to let the people know who their true, authentic self is, because right now, humanity is dealing with their culturally created self. And that's what society thinks they are. And a lot of times their parents didn't really know who they were, so they weren't able to be their authentic self. So we are getting back to the authentic self, as gods. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And to manifest unconditional love. That means love without conditions, which means you really don't have to do nothing to get it. You just have to want to accept it.
Woof, 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 woof.
So again, brother, why? How much is all this healing cost?
How much is all this healing cost, brother? Listen, this is what I'm striving to do at WCW. Yeah, this is what I'm striving. And me and my brother, we're trying to do at WCW. We are striving to provide all these services for the people for free.
Praise the Lord. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's what we're striving to do. We want to be put in the position to when we can do all this for the people for free. And that we get money to run the place from the people who got it, like the government.
Yes, sir. We call that, dear brother. Yeah. I mean, anybody that's does business like retail understands what I'm about to say. You even when we were doing other things, right?
Right.
You get something at a particular price, you mark it up, and then you sell it at retail, and you make money. But then if you sell it at cost, we say at expense. Meaning you sell it for the same price that you got it for, which means you make no money.
Right.
You just enough so you can continue to operate and provide the service.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, man. Because really, see, the money is very, very important, because from what I'm trying to do, because I'm trying to help people on a very large scale, masses of people. So yeah, of course, money definitely will help to do that.
Yes.
But the most important part of it, even more than the money, is the actual function and
Come
the
on now.
results of my treatments with people. Just like when I see you tomorrow, Brother Barnes Bay, and how you gonna feel. Because the next time you're gonna talk, you're gonna be feeling very, very good. You know,
That's what's up.
because it's my purpose, and I'm looking forward to doing it for you. You're gonna feel very good, very good.
So what you offering? So just so people would know, because we talked about some things that can be considered high science, if you will.
Yes.
We talked about chakras. Sometimes that language go up in your head. But what you're offering people is an improved health and life.
Yes, I'm adding
That's what
value
you
to
offer.
their life. I'm adding
Add
value and years to their life. Yes, that's
You
what I'm
got
gonna do.
quality life.
Yes, yes,
So I heard you mention something about aging. When you was mentioning something about the chakras and you were talking about the color, you mentioned something about aging.
Yeah.
So you saying you're here to try to help preserve people's appearances,
yes,
improve their
yes,
appearances, improve the way they feel
yes,
overall, the overall feelings about
yes.
themselves. Not just you just ain't here there trying to be like no what they call it snake oil doctors come in and say I can hear you, I can
No,
cure you
no,
pain.
not at
I'm
all.
trying to improve
Not at all.
overall
Not at all. Because I
life.
couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't sleep at night if I did that.
Come on now.
Because,
Come on
yeah.
now.
So
Yeah, I
you're
couldn't
trying to
sleep at
improve
night.
people's overall quality of life. I'm gonna tell y'all why I say this. You know, this podcast, we just keep it real. I was just doing some research on podcasts. One of the things about a podcast and the individuals on the podcast is as authentic as possible. You know what I mean? And your authenticity will create the revenue that you need. If you
Yes,
follow
sir.
what I'm saying, because people need to believe, not only believe, because believe is what people think perhaps is true. People need to have faith. They need to know. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They need to know that the service that you provide is going to help them in their mind before they even receive it. They need to
they
know
need to
it.
know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like you said, you're gonna do some things with us. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about it. The whole
yes,
nine
yes,
yards.
you will.
Just for this episode right here, just for somebody scrolling past, don't know who in the hell chest out, heart open is, don't know nothing about Barnes Bay. I don't know, you know what I mean? They don't know nothing about. They tune on this. When they tune on this and they listen in and they see you, I think they're gonna see an authentic person. They're gonna want to try to get some of
Come
the
on
service
now.
that you provide.
It's like,
I want to
real
thank
quick.
you for being
I gotta run. This was so
right.
uplifting for me personally. Y'all helped me out. This is
Yeah,
Right.
beautiful. I
yeah.
gotta take off. I gotta do. Listen, we gotta do this again. I mean, all three of us, all four of us. You know, brother, is it Crown?
Yes, sir.
Brother, is a pleasure. You know, not just hearing what you had to say, but your presence and your energy, brother. Brother Wise, you're a jewel, man. Keep it up. This is incredible.
I
You know what
appreciate
I'm
that, man.
saying?
I really
The
appreciate
community that you serve are honored to have you serving them, brother. And you already know what it is,
Right.
brother Barnes Bay. Like you already know.
All right. And I already know what you're about to do. You're about to go do some more work. Peace.
Peace, brother. Peace.
Yeah, peace, brother.
Peace. Peace.
Stay busy. All right, peace, brother.
Peace. Yes.
Yeah, man. I was glad you was able to make it on, Brother Wise. Brother Crown can attest to the fact that we had some very interesting conversation.
I heard some
spiritual.
quantum as I was in the background. I heard somebody talking some quantum physics,
Yes,
talking
sir.
about on the things
Yeah.
happening on a quantum level.
We was getting
Yeah.
into it for a minute there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
For a minute,
good.
Brother Crown thought he was having some technical difficulties with his sound. Or he thought he couldn't talk or something was going on. And then when he got that voice, yeah, we really we
Yeah.
really kicked
Yeah.
in.
I
But
told
I
you.
really enjoyed this, man. I think our next round of this by us, we get more experience at logging on and being on the camera. You know what I mean? And I think our future encounters will be better. We can have next time. Michael will probably be with us at a different perspective.
Definitely.
But like I say, Brother Wyatt and Brother Crown, we on here, man. We just want to be relaxed. We just want to be ourselves, man. We want to just let the people know that we real people. And let me tell you, I might pop up and say anything. You know, I like to make people laugh. I like to have fun.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's serious. Because one of the things I know is a lot of people scared to say who we really are. I know who the God man is for real. You know what I mean? We just gotta let our people know who we are. And we gotta rid ourselves of some of those toxins that's keeping us from our divinity, man. I look forward to like you say, relieving me of some of my toxicity that I got going on. Lately, now I don't find myself into some altercations. I'm like, you find yourself constantly involved in negative energy, and your intentions is to bring positive energy, but others bring negative energy. Sometimes we blame them. I blame me. Take my vibration off.
Right.
My vibration off, and I'm feeling out the wrong vibration, and they just responding to it.
Yeah, that's right. Because let me tell you something. See, when you in pain, regardless of what your thought, if you in pain, you're gonna give off negative vibration, even if you're not trying to. It's the pain.
Right.
It's you're actually in pain. You know,
hurt people. Hurt people.
Yeah.
Hurt people. Hurt people.
And
hurt people. Hurt people.
Because I've been in pain. I've been in a lot of pain, and that's when that stuff been taking place too. I've been in physical pain, and that's when all this not me. Damn, that's deep. Yeah, that's deep. So, yeah, that's good, man. So, like I say, next time we're gonna, we got to use laptops.
Yep. I know that
good.
now.
How y'all feel about this discussion?
It was a beautiful discussion.
It was a beautiful discussion, and let me tell you how everything aligned up. Remember I told you about G-Kong Healing God? Remember I told you I wanted to take that? I'm going to. That's going to be my next healing modality. I'm going to master.
Wow. And well, I'm gonna tell you, brother Sharif, he's really humble, but he is a master at a lot of the organs, a lot of Oriental teachings. Is what I'm saying.
That's
he's a master at it,
and that's what we need.
That's what he about to go do. That's what he about to go do now. He teach a I forgot the name of it. I can't pronounce it. He used the Chinese language class, the things that nature. So that's why I'm glad that he was able to get on. I wanted him to meet you. I want you to meet him. I want y'all energy to mesh with each other.
It's beautiful energy.
So
he did it. That's great energy.
Next time I may be invited onto somebody else's podcast, somebody that he's going to introduce me to. If so, I'm gonna find out exactly what the topic of discussion is. I may have you guys come along with. I'll let you guys know if they jump up. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with it.
All right. Till the next time, brothers. Peace and love.
All right, peace, brother. Peace, brother. All right.
I'll be getting in contact with you guys sometimes a week about our other venture.
Yeah, about tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. Yeah,
we're gonna get together tomorrow. I'll call you in the morning about the time in the evening that we're gonna get together tomorrow and the location. Mike trying to look into that location that we can discuss. But I'm talking about I'll call you. We're gonna discuss about us at the moment using the mobile unit at Friday.
That's right. Got you. All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Matter of fact, I ain't gonna talk to her tomorrow. I'll talk to her Tuesday because she ain't gonna be here tomorrow. But Tuesday, I get some information about that. All right,
brother. All right, have a good one, man.
All right. Peace and love.
Peace.